Hello, healers and health seekers. It's me, Ichota, healing with medical medium information for over 5 years now. I'm healing from, or have healed, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, POTS, PTSD, PCOS, SIBO. I'm healing from multiple chemical sensitivity, heart palpitations, gastroparesis, and a whole host of other symptoms and conditions. I can't stay here and list them all. One day, maybe I'll do one video that just lists them all. I did 3 that listed all of them, and counting. Still more to come. Anyway, like this one's coming back and going, but that's just because new exposures, whatever. Okay, today, what am I here to talk about? I want to talk about the cleanses, the medical medium cleanses, and how they are spiritual cleanses. That is what I want to talk about. I have here with me the Medical Medium Cleanse to Heal book, which is such an incredible book, and I read it again and again, and every time I read it, I find new things, and it deepens my understanding. It is a scripture in that way. It is a living word. And one of the things that I think is really important that has been I don't know what's going on in the room above me, but if you hear banging, I don't know what it is. My in-laws' room is above me. And if you hear snoring, that's my pug Muffins, who you cannot see right now because she's on the floor underneath the camera snoring. And here we go. Okay, so chapter 19, Critical Cleanse Do's and Don'ts, page 216. Medical Medium talks about this is a spiritual cleanse, and I want to talk about that because it's been on my heart, this cleanse. I've really been thinking about it. I've really been thinking about spirituality a lot. I mean, not just lately, but also all the time, but also lately. I mean, it's just something, what I think of as spirituality and my spirituality and who I am spiritually, how I think of everything spiritually has changed so dramatically over the course of using the medical medium information and over the course of healing my body. And if you told me 5 years ago that I would be where I am now spiritually, I would have laughed and said, "You're high. What are you talking about? That's crazy." But here I am, and no regrets, and it's been the most incredible transformation that I could have ever. I mean, I have no words. It leaves me speechless just to think about it. So just thinking about spiritually, because I remember that reading, in the book, not to use other spiritual information with the cleanses because it isn't the medical medium cleanse if you are. And I'm like, whoa. So not just other information, but other spiritual information. So here's what I'm going to read you. I'm going to read this section of the book, or at least part of it, and I'm going to talk about it. So this is a spiritual cleanse. Once again, I may not read this whole section, so please get the book yourself. Don't take what I'm saying as any kind of indication of what's in this book, because it is also out of context of the rest of the book, and it is so important that you have the book and read it yourself, because it's like having somebody read you the Bible or anything else that's like a holy scripture. I'm not kidding, because you're gonna hear the words differently or interpret the words differently or see something different in them when you read them yourself. So this is just me and what I'm getting out of it. Okay, this is a spiritual cleanse. Any medical medium cleanse goes beyond the physical. The 369 cleanse is a spiritual cleanse. So is every other cleanse in this book and the series. That's this whole series. All of these books, every cleanse is a spiritual cleanse. That's because they are not man-made. They come from above. So Anthony William did not write these cleanses himself. he basically wrote down what Spirit of Compassion told him, and that is where these cleanses come from. People often think, well, medical medium information got me to a point where I healed my symptoms. Now I need to go on my spiritual journey. Boy, have I seen that a lot. What they may not realize is that using the medical medium information to get better is the very genesis of their spiritual journey. Yes, I have absolutely found that to be true. As your body goes from twisted up, sick, and struggling to physically free, your soul is freed up too, and you're more easily able to continue your spiritual development. The same information that heals your body heals your soul. 100%. Okay, I know I said I was going to read this, but that is 100% true. 100% true. I have, and I'm not, I obviously can only speak from my own experience. However, having met and spoken with so many people in the medical medium community, and by I mean met is like talked to on the phone or chatted with in, DMs or texted each other or whatever. Having connected with so many people in this community and having had this conversation so many times, there's a hummingbird right there on the marigolds. Had this conversation. See, the hummingbird's saying like, yes, you're on it. This is so true. It's so true, because when I have healed oh my gosh, healing my body has healed my soul so much. I'm getting a little weepy. So much. I have become connected to God. I have my own personal relationship with God because of this information. And the angels, and I keep losing words when I try to talk about it, because it's like I don't know how to quantify the experience of having your soul heal. I never thought it could happen. I lost a child. In 2003. I never thought my soul could heal from that. Ever. Never. You couldn't have told me it would happen. I would never have believed you. I never would have believed it. I have experienced soul healing, and it's magnificent. It is miraculous. It's incredible. So 100%, when you heal your body, your soul heals too. 100%. Complex PTSD, trauma, so many traumas in my lifetime, even aside from losing my son, other losses, other horrible things happening, just heartbreaks and betrayals, and healed. Healing my soul. Incredible. Okay, I'm going to keep reading. I recommend that people look back a bit to see how far they've come, both physically and spiritually, after tapping into medical medium information. One of the greatest lessons in our spiritual development is not to take a miracle for granted. Amen. So many miracles have happened in my life because of this information. When you're struggling and suffering with symptoms and conditions, looking everywhere for answers and not getting them, and then those answers are given to you from above, thank you. You just can't receive anything more spiritual than that. Right? Can you? I mean, really? Just because there was a messenger involved does not mean these answers were man-made. And the answers here go so far beyond physical healing. Cleansing yourself of the true source of pain is the most spiritual healing there is. Sorry. It's true. Healing your physical symptoms heals your soul. It really does. I mean, it does. I went into it. We can't take the 369 cleanse and other cleanses in this book for granted, using them to heal our physical symptoms and then casting them aside so that we can begin our spiritual journey in search of answers. We are already on our spiritual journey. We are already on our spiritual journey. Spiritual answers have already helped us cleanse, restored our confidence in our mental, emotional, and physical health, restored our soul, and allowed us to claim our free will to pursue whatever path we choose going forward. Always remember, would we even be at this point of getting to move forward if it weren't for the spiritual development we'd already been through? Keep in mind that any self-proclaimed expert, I want you to hear this one. Keep in mind that any self-proclaimed expert who offers a course on the 369 cleanse that incorporates health or cleansing content not sourced from medical medium information renders the cleanse null and void. That sentence, I'm going to repeat it again because that sentence was so important for me to read. Literally every sentence in these books, has power. Every sentence is a living word. Every sentence has deep meaning to it. Like every single constructed sentence, every single one. So I'm going to read that one again. Keep in mind that any self-proclaimed expert who offers a course in the 369 cleanse that incorporates health or cleansing content not sourced from medical medium information renders the cleanse null and void. The same is true if anybody tries to tie outside spiritual information to the cleanse. It will make it ineffective. I'm going to read that one again. The same is true if anybody tries to tie outside spiritual information to the cleanse. It will make it ineffective. These physical and spiritual cleanses rely on information that comes from the original source. That is huge. How many of you have read this and saw it? Like, really, like that you saw this and went, whoa. It's not just about doing the medical medium information for the physical healing. It's not just about, making sure you eat the right foods on the cleanse and going by the foods and whatever. It's about the cleanses. So when I'm doing the cleanses, the best content for me to be taking in is the content in the book that I'm doing the cleanse from. So if I'm doing the Medical Medium 28-day cleanse, then read that book, or any of the book. It doesn't matter. But if you're doing a Medical Medium cleanse, be taking in the information from the Medical Medium books. Do you know how much spiritual information is in these books? Like, this is not all just physical information. Go to the back of any of these books, the back, and even in the acknowledgments, like, read these books cover to cover. I'm not kidding. Every sentence. Every freaking sentence, okay? Every sentence. Okay. I'll read the last part of this one section. If you want to expand the spiritual nature of the 369 cleanse or another cleanse in this book, apply the meditations from Liver Rescue. You'll also find support from the Sunset Meditation and other soul healing techniques in Medical Medium. Yes. So if you want to expand the spiritual aspect of the cleanse, go to the other Medical Medium books. Or you can go to the podcast because he has some of the meditations recorded on the podcast. But the Sunset Trust Meditation, you know what? I've not done that one in a while. And it occurred to me, maybe even while I was doing this cleanse, it occurred to me the other day. I thought, I need more trust in my life. I'm losing trust again. Not losing trust in the medical medium information. No. But just realizing that it's been a long time since I have done that Sunset Trust meditation. In the first year of my journey, and I don't even think I did it right, but I did do it, because I had such brain fog of my healing in the first year. I did the Sunset Trust meditation. So I didn't, it wasn't the first few months, because in the first few months we were still like trying to get our house ready to sell and stuff like that for when we were moving out of Oregon. But we had bought an RV and we traveled in the RV for a year down the West Coast. Not the whole year, but we were in it for a year, but we traveled down the West Coast for several months. So we went down down through Oregon into California and traveled down the coast and roll slow like. And then we went to Arizona, whatever. It doesn't matter after that. But so for the several months that we were going down the California coast, I every night would be looking at, I'm on the West Coast, right? I'm looking at sunsets over the ocean. So I've got two. I've got the ocean to do the waves, the ocean waves meditation, the water. And then I've got the sunset to do the Sunset Trust meditation. And I did go out every night, and I would, or almost every night. I try to go out every night, and I would watch the sunset, and I would do the Sunset Trust meditation. And that meditation, it was really powerful. And I probably didn't do it right or whatever, but the intention was there. Because I know more now, and I'm like, I probably wasn't doing that right. But the fact of the matter is it still worked. It still worked because I still was going out with the intention every night to regain trust by watching the sunsets. And I was doing it. And it was such a magnificent thing, because I now have like emblazoned in my mind these beautiful beach sunsets over the ocean. What an incredible opportunity that was to have. And I don't really see much of the sunset here where I am, because those big tall trees are in back. If you've ever seen any of my other videos, it's like a lot of tall trees, so I only get like a little tiny view of the sky, and I see like a little bit of sort of the color. I don't really see the sunsets, and that's okay. It's fine. You don't have to even see the sunset to be able to do the Sunset Trust meditation. But I can close my eyes and I can see the sunsets from when we were traveling up and down the West Coast. That was truly, yeah, it made a big difference. And like he said, the liver meditations, I always try to, like, before I go to bed, whether I'm on a cleanse or not, there's the one with the Angels of Order, and I try to do that one. So the Angels of Order, where you ask the Angels of Order to come and do a healing sequence on your liver, and I do that as I'm falling asleep after I talk to the other angels. I have a routine that I do. Sometimes I talk to the angels before the meditation, because I'll do one of the podcast meditations, usually the moon meditation, and then sometimes I talk to the angels after. But a lot of times I try to do it before, because after I'm so relaxed that I end up falling asleep as soon as I turn my phone off. So anyway, as I'm doing so I talk to the angels, and I kind of go down a list of ones that I talk to almost every night. And the last one on the list is the Angels of Order, because I know I'm going to fall asleep. I do it so regularly that it lulls me to sleep sometimes I don't even get halfway through talking to the angels, and I'll like fall asleep. Like I'll say, Angel of Sleep, please help me have deep restorative healing sleep, and then I'll just zonk out. I don't even get through the whole list. But when I do, the Angels of Order are the last, because they do a healing sequence on the liver. And so, of course, when you're doing the cleanse, the 369 cleanse, that's all about the liver. Any cleanse is about the liver. Any medical medium cleanse. And so I do that. But the amount of time, I can't even tell you the amount of times I've seen somebody on social media say, like, oh, I healed and now I'm going to go do my spiritual journey. And I'm like, but there's so much, or they'll say, oh, and I'm guilty of it. I didn't realize how much spiritual information, even though I knew, it's like, okay, I know the angels are there and I knew the meditations were there because even from the first book, it's always been there. It's always been there. But for some reason, I still felt like I had to look outwards, outside of the medical medium information, for spiritual guidance or spiritual whatever. And so for a while I was into other people. Like I was into, I'm not going to say, because I don't want to direct people back to that. But for a while I was into other things too. And I noticed though that over time and deepening my understanding of the medical medium information and continuously consulting the books and rereading, that they are loaded with spiritual information, not just in like the backs of all the books, but I mean even in the acknowledgments, even in everywhere, like loaded. So there's so much information, and if you go back and you reread the book or re-listen to it on audio or whatever way you take it in, you'll see it. You'll see like, oh gosh, this has been here the whole time. I mean, the first chapter of the first book is all spiritual information because it's his story about how Spirit of Compassion came to him at age 4 and, how this all began. And then it just goes from there. It's like it doesn't stop. It's laced throughout the whole book. It's everywhere in every book, every single book. Celery juice is loaded with spiritual information, every single book. Have you ever read Life-Changing Foods? Oh, every single section on every food is loaded with spiritual information. And because it talks about the spiritual support of each healing food and the emotional support of each healing food. If you have not read Life-Changing Foods, can I just tell you one more time? I know I keep talking about this lately, but read this book because it's such a good book. And I mean, there is so much spiritual information, but all of that excess, all of the external, all of that other stuff fell away. And this cleanse, I've even still, like, oh my gosh, how many questions as we go through this medical medium healing journey, how many questions pop up that are spiritual questions that we want Anthony to ask Spirit of Compassion to answer for us. Because I don't know about you, but I have a lot of questions about Jesus, and I have questions about God, and I have questions about the spiritual war, and I have questions about aliens, and I have questions about the evil that runs all this nonsense on us and everything. I have so many, and demons. I have so many questions. Oh, I'm sure. How many of you also have like a list of questions that you'd like to ask? I started a list. It's not complete. I have more questions to add to that list. Like, oh my gosh, if I could. And have you guys been watching the lives? Because he does drop stuff in those lives. He does. I watch the lives and I'm not always able to take notes. I wish I was. And I never try to take notes while the live is going on because no, I would miss everything. Also, while the live is going on, a lot of times I'm answering questions in the comments, which I kind of think I should stop doing, because not stop altogether, but like I miss so much. And also I'm like, how many are people even hearing it? Because everybody's busy chatting in the comments. Like, do you even hear what he's saying? So every time I watch a live, I'm talking to all of us, including myself, not just other people. I'm like, no, me too also. But I think about that and I'm like, is it really helpful if I'm answering questions while he's talking? Because I'm like, then I'm taking away from him talking. I don't know. Anyway, so I kind of, whatever. But I always go back and rewatch every single live because he says so much in them. And when I stop and I take notes, I take written notes, like handwritten notes I write, because I don't know, there's just something about handwriting as opposed to typing, that like it's like it gets into me a different way. I don't know. I feel more connected to it or something. I don't know what it is. So anyway, I'm handwriting notes of things he says. And because I have to slow it down so much, because I always have to stop and pause and did he just say what? And then go back again and then whatever, because I have to slow it down so much. I hear so much more when I'm like handwriting notes. I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, he just said that. Oh. And then it like, oh, wait, does he mean this? Oh. And I'm not going to go into what I think he means about things because that's just me speculating. And we each, again, I feel like, again, him speaking, it's living words, and we're all going to hear different things. And yes, sometimes I do, like, you know, I talk to friends about it and I'm like, did you hear him say this? What do you think he meant by that? And then we kind of, you know, whatever. But always rewatch those lives. That is my recommendation, is always rewatch them, because whatever you think you heard the first time, there's more. There's so much more, because I'll listen to it a second time, sometimes a third time. Like right now, because he's writing the books and he hasn't made any lives in a while, it gives me time to go back and rewatch some of the ones that I didn't get to take notes on and take those notes. Probably another reason I haven't been making videos, because I'm like, this is what I'm doing when I'm not making videos. And so I take those notes and then I'm like, oh man. And then it's just, there's just so much in every one. And then when I do take notes on, I'm like, okay, I now have to go and take notes back on all the ones that I haven't done, which is a lot of them. I took a bunch of typewritten notes on a bunch of them, so I do have those, but then I'm like, no, I want to handwrite the notes, so then I want to go back and re-listen to them. I don't just want to handwrite what I already typed. Like, I want to re-listen to them and hear it with new ears and then handwrite. I don't know. That's just me. And it's like, I don't have time to do all of this, so I just do what I can. I do the ones I can. So it's mostly the ones from from April on that I have notes on, handwritten notes, because that's when I got a bug in my ear, a bee in my bonnet, or whatever it is to do it. So whatever. But my point being, I just never doubt the amount of spiritual information that exists in these books, because we don't need outside spiritual information. When people go, oh, I do. Now, this is not a critique. You do you. Everybody has free will, and I know that. And please, I'm not, whatever. Everybody has their own. But don't overlook the spiritual information in the medical medium information, because honestly, I don't think we need any other spiritual information. For me personally, what has happened is all the other stuff that I thought I needed has just completely fallen away. I'm not into any of it anymore. And it wasn't a conscious decision even. It just fell away. I just stopped at some point. It was just like, I just stopped listening to that person, and I just stopped reading those books, and I just didn't want to anymore. Like, it just didn't resonate for me, or it's not even that it didn't resonate. It's just like, it just, no, this is enough. I have everything I need right here in this source. And I guess the other difference is that I know medical medium information is true. So if what's true of the physical body is true, then why wouldn't the other information be true? Because nothing has been wrong that I've seen in the information so far. And when I originally started medical medium information, I used the technique that I've used with so many things, where I try it on like a jacket. I try on the whole jacket. You don't just put a sleeve on and go, oh, that fits, or it doesn't fit. You put the whole jacket on. You wear the whole thing. You wear it around for a while and you go, okay, does this fit me? Well, I tried I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do all of it. So I did the angels. I did talk to the angels, even though it felt so weird for me at the time. Like when I first started, it was just so foreign to me. Even though I thought I believed in like angels and fairies and stuff like that, I thought I had that belief. But then when it came down to actually talking to them, and calling to them for help, I was just like, this is awkward. Like, I didn't know just felt so weird. But he said to do it, so I did it. I was just like, okay, well, I'm just going to do this anyway. Like, who cares? If I feel weird, nobody hears me or sees me. It's just me in my room at night saying, asking the angel of faith, because that's the one he says, like, if you're the angel of faith, he says, talk to her every night if you feel you lack in faith. And faith is something I always wanted to have. I always kind of envied people. I was like, I'm not into the whole organized religion. I'm not into church and all that stuff. I understand why people do it, and I always have, though. I've always understood, like, I get why people want to be in a church and part of a community and part of a congregation and have that, because A, it offers guidelines, and B, it offers fellowship. But I was always like, it's not for me. But I always envied people who had faith. Like, what is that? Because I never had it, and I never knew what it was like. And I always was just like, it must be amazing to feel like you can turn everything over to God, or, believe that somebody's got your back. And I always just thought, like, what is that like? I don't know. And I envied it a little bit. I even would talk to people about it and be like, I'm not into it, but I do envy people who have faith, because it must be very comforting to believe what they believe. It must be comforting. And you know what? It is comforting. It is comforting to know that you've got angels in your corner, and you have like a whole slew of angels that you can call upon to have your back, and that you've got and to talk to and to give out to, and to when the things are hard and things are down and you need to call on help, you can call on them. And it is pretty freaking amazing to have faith. And I know what it's like now. I get it. I mean, I really understand it. And so now I see other people with faith, and I'm like, yeah, I know what that is. I know what that is, because I have it. And that's because of the angel of faith. That's because I asked her every single night, angel of faith, help my faith grow. Every single night, I still ask her. I thank her, and I ask her for more. Keep helping my faith grow. Keep helping me stay in faith. I ask so many angels now for so many things. And it's not like, it's not material things. It's not things for me personally, although I for sure have asked the angels to please help us find a house. I'm not going to lie. Because this search has gone on for 2 years, and I'm like, okay. I have a strong feeling that we're supposed to be here for a little longer, here in my in-laws' house, and I don't really understand why. And I know that, but I'm just, okay. We're here because we're supposed to be here, but I still want, I still have things that I would like. And I think I have even questions about that. Like, okay, well, if God put it on my heart to want this, then I want this. I still want it, and I want it a certain way because of certain reasons, whatever. I don't know. It's a whole question for me around that too. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. But it is amazing to feel like that's there, like the angels are there, that God is there, that Jesus is there. It's like, I don't know. I never thought in a million billion years, I never thought I could have that feeling. And it's, again, something I can't quantify, I can't explain, but it is all entirely 100% because of medical medium. 100%. It's because of healing my body that this came about. And it definitely helped to have other people in the community who were going through it too, because then I could talk to somebody about it and be like, hey, has this happened for you? And the more people I would say and talk to about it, the more people were like, yes, oh my gosh, I've been wanting somebody to talk to about this. And do you know how much fun I have when somebody messages me and says, hey, because we're all so new to it, right? Like so many of us, not everybody in the community, obviously people come at different, everybody's in a different place, but so many people, so many of us in the community are at a place where it's like, this is new and weird to us. Like, hey, have you noticed that there's like this whole spiritual aspect and what about God and stuff like that. And when somebody comes to me and starts talking to me about that stuff, I'm like, yes, let's talk about it. I'm like, yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. I love getting into the nitty-gritty and questioning it together and talking about things and and just sort of discussing the questions that come up for us and opining together and being like, well, I think maybe this, what do you think? And well, I think maybe this, and this is how it is for me, and this is what I need. And like, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to have discussions about spirituality and healing and all of this. It's just like, it's so amazing. It's so amazing to have this opening and it just fills my heart. It fills my heart with joy. So I wanted to talk about that today. I just wanted to talk about these books are full of spirituality, and I don't think we need another source, but I mean, at the same time, like I said, people are in different places, but there are certain other sources that I see people bringing into it that I just think, that's not good. Don't do that. That's not good. Oh, not that guy, because that guy's a fraud, Like, there are certain people that they really have people so misled, and there are so many of them, and it's heartbreaking to watch. Oh, I got another video coming up that I'm going to talk about. I told you I was going to talk about this, and I haven't done it yet, and I will. I promise I will, because I really want to, because I have to actually, for once, I actually have to make some notes and make sure that I hit all my points on my notes, because it's kind of important. But I am going to talk about like how to spot the carpetbaggers and the sharks in the community. That's coming up. Got to talk about it. I have to, because they're so frustrating and upsetting, especially when they're the ones who have used the information to heal, and then they are like, well, I can't make money off of this. So anyway, that's another video. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. If you have had, I want to say, profound spiritual experiences because of medical medium information, but what I really want to say is just, if you have had spiritual experiences as a result of using the medical medium information to heal, oh please, oh please. Oh, do you hear that little sweet sparrow out there? Hi, sweet sparrow. Oh, flew away. Okay. Where was I saying? If you please tell me in the comments below your experiences, because I want to know so much. I want to know. I love hearing what has opened up for people spiritually, and I know that it's hard to quantify sometimes, and maybe we'll do a whole nother video again where we talk about angels and whatever. But yes, please share your spiritual stuff from me, and or frustrations or anything. Like, share whatever you want to share in the comments. I want to hear from you either way. And I love you. And I forgot to say, if you like this video, give a thumbs up below. You can subscribe to my channel by hitting the subscribe button wherever it is. I think it's over there. Wherever the subscribe button is, you can hit it if you want to subscribe to my videos. If you want to be notified when I post a new video, hit the bell. Recommend the notification bell because I freaking am so infrequent about posting. I always say I'm going to try to do better. I always try to do better, but life. Okay. This is not my full-time job. My full-time job is taking care of my family, and that comes first. My healing and taking care of my family and their healing. So anyway, I love you, my healers and health seekers. Stay curious, stand strong, use your free will. Remember, always talk to the angel of free will. The angel of, oh, that's like a whole nother, oh, I could put it in the books. I could talk about that whole, oh, have you read the Medical Medium Revised and Expanded Edition and read the chapter on angels and how there's 6 new angels? Remember, angel of free will, angel of dimension, angel of inner vision, angel of strength. I think we need to use them so much right now. So don't forget to lean on them because the world is weird. The spiritual war is real. It's happening. So use it. Use them. Call on them. Pray to them. Ask them for help. I do. I have been constantly. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. I love you. I love you. I wish I could hug you all. One day, I hope that I meet each and every one of you for real, like some kind of way. I wish I could. So always stay curious, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.